Hey guys, it is 4:25 this morning and I'm heading over to the gym to do some weightlifting. Should you weightlift as a rock climber? The simple answer is absolutely yes, especially if you're older or as you get older. See, the thing is, when you're younger, you can get away with just having really strong fingers and strong pulling power. But eventually, if you're not training the rest of your body, it's gonna get to you. It is gonna cause imbalances and it's gonna cause pesky shoulder injuries. Your back's gonna go out, neck problems, all kinds of bad stuff. I'll be right back. Taking out the trash. Okay. Yeah, you'll develop elbow problems, knee problems, ankle problems, man. It could be anything. I've said in my videos before that I am interested in longevity. Especially now, since I'm in my 40s, I gotta make sure that my body is very functional. And I gotta make sure that it will continue to be functional for the rest of my climbing career. Or forever, basically. See, it's not just about longevity, it's about health longevity. How much stuff can you do in your 40s, in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, man. As long as you're in this world, you wanna be mobile. You wanna have enough strength in your body to do the things that you love. And so yes, weightlifting is absolutely essential. Before I was a rock climber, I weightlifted like mad for about 8 years, starting when I was 14 years old. So for a long time, I was able to get away without really weightlifting. I never truly stopped, but I minimized it a bunch. And I didn't lift heavy weights for a long time. I gotta tell you from experience that was a mistake. I didn't really notice a huge difference until I started accumulating imbalances. About 15 years later, guys, 15 years later, think about this. It took me that long to realize that I needed to start hitting the weights again, big time. Of course, I'm not gonna be weight training like I did when I was younger, because I was insane back then. I would work out each muscle group for like 1 or 2 hours, just doing all kinds of exercises for each muscle group. No, I'm not doing that anymore. Usually my workout ends at about 45 minutes to an hour, twice a week. Sometimes once a week if I'm climbing a whole bunch. Once a week is fine. But I really try to incorporate the weightlifting twice a week, and most often I do that. Yeah, and I wanted to say that a big reason why in the beginning I stopped weightlifting, especially heavy weights, is that I was too big. I knew that I needed to drop some weight in order to climb better. And I thought I had too much muscle mass on me. But guys, let me tell you something. Body composition is manipulated through your diet, not by not training. That's a very important concept to understand. Don't wait until you're older. Just start weight training. Oh, snap, they may not even be open. Oh, damn. Come on, Planet Fitness. You're supposed to be a 24-hour gym. What the hell is this? Well, I was gonna go train at Planet Fitness, but it seems like they are no longer a 24-hour gym. Well, I guess I am too motivated for these guys. What do we do now? Okay. You guys be safe when you're driving. You do not want to end up in a ditch this early in the morning. Okay, well, I guess we are just gonna head over to the little gym in my place. That one does have 24-hour access. It just doesn't have all the stuff that I need though. But we're gonna make it work. Yeah, so you guys that have been watching my videos, you know that I pay attention to my body weight because I want to strengthen my finger strength to weight ratio. But keep in mind that I want to have a high general strength to weight ratio, not just finger strength to weight ratio. I want my shoulders to be as strong as possible when I climb. My back, chest even, just every possible way that you can pull on a hold. I don't want to have any weaknesses. That's the ideal. And especially because I lack in the grip department. I want the rest of my body to be strong enough to compensate so that I don't have those weaknesses in any other parts of my body. You see, if you're not weightlifting on a regular basis and you have a lot of weaknesses elsewhere, then your fingers need to be stronger. And that's what I mean when I said earlier that when you're young, you can get away with it, especially if you have just naturally strong fingers, because you can compensate with that. But if you're someone like me, you're older and your finger strength isn't your biggest strong suit, then weightlifting is a huge benefit. So let's get in there and let's sling some weight around. Okay, so here we are. I call this the little gym. It's got enough, but it only goes up to 50-pound dumbbells. Doesn't have a bench rack or anything, but we're gonna figure something out. So when I weight train, I usually start with some heavy pulls. Like at Planet Fitness, I'll get on the pull down machine and try to go as heavy as possible. Try to max out, do a 1 rep max, 2 rep max before moving on to other body parts. Well, here we can maybe put a harness on and add some additional weight. That's kind of irritating. I really don't like doing pull-ups with a bunch of weight hanging on my hips. So I think instead what I'll do is I'll just do some one-arm lock-offs. Now, it would be awesome if I was strong enough to just crank out some one-arm pull-ups. But man, lately I have had difficulty doing one-arm pull-ups. But getting older, man, I think I've been losing some pull-up power. We'll go with how I feel. I'll just warm up a little bit and then I'll do some one-arm lock-offs. And that'll serve as my max pull-up training. Okay. I'm also a bit heavy for optimal climbing right now. And when I cut weight, I especially pay attention to weight training because I don't want to lose any strength. So Here we go. Let's do the first round of lock-offs. Come on, old man. Feels so hard. Yeah, so the way I do my lock-offs is with assistance, I get as deep as I can, hold it for a little bit, and then drop down to 90 degrees, hold it for a little bit, and then slowly drop all the way down. Man, I gotta get to a point where I can just do one-arm pull-ups again. But it's really more about training, not looking cool. Looks cooler to do one-arm pull-up, but it just feels like it's gonna stress my arms too much. Maybe later on, once I'm done cutting weight, if it's easier, then I might start doing some one-arm pull-ups instead of just the lock-offs. All right, set number 2. Yeah, I mean, it feels pretty solid. It's tough though. Man, I just think I've lost pull-up power. Or maybe I'm just inflating how strong I used to be. Because I don't think I was ever that great at one-arm pull-ups. I would always get to about 90 degrees, but then doing this last bit, I don't know if I ever truly got it. That's why now when I lock off, I start there and I just slowly let it down to 90 degrees. Because I want to be able to get to that position and just really lock it down, or really get that hand below my chin. Why exactly? I don't think that'll necessarily help with climbing, but I think it'll just be cool. Maybe it's an ego thing more than anything else. Okay, we're gonna do set number 3. If you noticed on that, I kind of tried to pull back up a little bit. I think I was able to do it with the left some, but the right just, I don't know, man. It's weird. I have some imbalances still, probably from old injuries. But that's enough for the one-arm stuff. I'll work out more pulling after I do the rest of my workouts, and probably later on in the day. A lot of times I like to do 2-a-days, split it up some. It doesn't all have to be done in one session. So at the gym, I would have done dumbbell press. That's been my favorite. If you've seen my strength testing videos, it's the same exercise. It's just instead of going for a 1-rep max, I'm actually training with it. And I usually do about 3 or 4 sets, rarely 5. But the dumbbells here, they only go up to 50s, so we're gonna have to figure out something else. I'm gonna start off with some push-ups to warm up with. I'm just gonna place my microphone here because it's gonna tap the ground. But guys, when you do push-ups, do full range push-ups. There's just no reason to not go all the way down. Chest and nose to the ground. If you're not going all the way down, just have a good reason. Like maybe the floor is dirty. But with push-ups, I see this all the time. All the time, see this business. Or, I don't know, what else do people do? But the thing is, you really want to stretch out that chest. And so even when you go all the way down with push-ups, it's almost not enough. And so a lot of times I'll do push-ups on dumbbells so I can get an even deeper stretch. Here, let me show you that. I used to do them like this a whole lot when I was in high school. I'd fill my backpack with all of my books. Back then when people actually had books, you know. Would fill it with books and weights. And I'd go all the way down just to really feel that stretch. Yeah. I'd do them like this. Then I'd flip the weights and go all the way down. Again, just like that. Right now, we're not after just burning out the chest here. I want to really work on strength. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some of these dumbbell push-ups, but I'm going to tuck my knees in and just make it pretty hard. I guess you would call it like a 90-degree hold or something. I don't know what to call it. I just know that it's gonna be tougher than a regular push-up, whatever. You guys that do calisthenics will probably have a better name for this. But I'll just tuck my knees in. I don't do these very often, so I'm not sure how intense I can go. And just touch my nose. Whoa. Yeah, that's pretty tough. So usually when I'm working out chest, I'll work out the opposing muscle group. In this situation, it would be the back. With my dumbbell presses or any kind of chest exercise, I like to do variations of reverse flies. The 3 movements that I like to do is raise it up to my ears, and then hold and pause, and then further back and pause. I don't usually count my reps. I just go by feel. The first set, I consider it more as a warm-up. And so when I start feeling a little bit of fatigue, I stop. Second set, increased intensity. And then the third set, I usually go as heavy or as intense as I can. And then fourth set, same thing, heavy and intense. And that is if I do a fourth set. I don't always. So I'm gonna try to do some kind of variation of a 90-degree hold. I think that's what it's called. That's tough. Yeah, this gets the biceps a lot too. All right, let's do another set of these reverse flies. First set, I use 20-pound dumbbells. This one is with 30s. So notice, because they're heavier, I don't lock out these positions. I lock out the first one. And these I just go kind of slow. I don't think I can lock out the 30s in reverse flies. Or maybe I should try it. Let me see. Let me see how much I can lock out the 30s. All right. Yeah, that's all I got. But that's fine though, because I want to be strong in this position, really locking them out, but also want to increase the weight so I can move a large amount of weight throughout the entire motion. So it's nice to have both variations. You know, strengthen out the back as well, like this, making sure your back's straight. Just having the power to lift more weight. You know, that's when you can get into trouble with ego lifting, or you start increasing the weight too much and then your form really breaks down and you start using a bunch of momentum, which has its place, I think. But if you're training for climbing, then you want to lock out those positions, especially to start off with lower weight. And then, fine, you know, do a little bit of ego lifting, throw some heavier dumbbells around. That's also fine. But just remember that we're not concerned about looking cool. We're concerned about function. And these reverse flies, being able to lock out these positions away from your body is quite important. But then when your hands are closer to your body, being able to just use momentum and throw that weight is also important. And so that's why I do both variations. I start by locking them off. As I increase the weight, it becomes impossible. And so I use more momentum at that point. All right, let's do another one of these. Oh, God. God. Oh, boy. Yeah, that was tough. Terrible form, but oh well. Let's do some push-ups now. Again, I just don't count my reps. I don't know how many I did, but I think that might be my last for the chest. Now we're gonna go pretty heavy on the reverse flies. These are 40 pounds. So we're not really gonna be pausing with these. All right, next, biceps and triceps. So we're gonna go biceps first. Using 30s right now. And then tricep extensions, or I guess skull crushers, whatever you want to call them. I like to put these on my shoulders when I can. But when the weight gets too heavy, then I'll just go to my temples. Yeah, the biceps feel pretty worked from probably the one arm lock offs and from doing those push up 90-degree holds. Let's get these biceps looking pretty gross. Yeah, biceps are feeling pretty tired. Oh yeah, I think one more set of biceps will do it. Because they get worked. I mean, biceps get worked doing pull-ups. Doing a lot of my forearm training as well, if you saw my video. Doing the pronation and supination, that kind of stuff. Biceps get worked there, so we don't have to overdo it on those. Last set I did with 35-pound dumbbells, now it's with 40s. And I usually don't go any heavier than 40s. It's not really necessary. It's getting tough. 40s are tough with triceps. Okay. Let's burn out a little bit on the bench. Next, we gotta train those shoulders. Very important to have strong shoulders in climbing. Using 20s right now. Just like with the reverse flies, this weight is light enough that I can pause at the top of the movement. I like to do it. I like to do lateral raises and also front raises at the same time. Your shoulders, and they get worked. Got to put them through hell before you climb. That way, they become a lot more resilient. With my shoulder workouts, I like to throw in some more triceps. Since my biceps get worked through other exercises, I like to supplement. All right, now 25s. Ooh, tougher to pause with these. All right, now 30s. This is about as heavy as I go on shoulders. Ooh, this left side is a little bit crunchy. Now we're gonna pick up 15s and burn out a little bit. Okay, I think shoulders deserve one more set, And that's it. All right, last set with shoulders. This is with 25s. '20s. And 15s. So this ends the morning training session. I'm probably going to do more later on in the day. Maybe do some core exercises. Maybe some more back. Probably not going to climb today. If I climb today, it'll be just some easy routes later on in the day. But anyway, this is how I look like at 162 pounds. Haven't started cutting weight yet because it's tough. That's basically why. But yeah, I plan on going from 162 to 145. Yeah, we'll see how much strength I can retain and how much muscle mass I lose. Let's see what I look like at 145.